When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
Hi there, this is Kat, and I support GenXGrownUp. Whether I'm reminiscing right along with them or learning something new, GenXGrownUp always dishes out fresh, thoughtful, and creative perspectives. You can support their efforts too. Just go to genxgrownup.com/Patreon. You won't regret it.
GenXGrownUp is a YouTube channel, website, and audio podcast you're listening to right now. All made for and by people who love exploring media, games, tech, and toys of yesterday and today through the eyes of Gen Xers who refuse to grow up. Your dinner cannot just be French fries. Basically, life sucks as a grown-up. Welcome back, Gen X Grown Up podcast listeners, to this episode 193 of the Gen X Grown Up podcast. I am John. Joining me, as always, of course, my buddy Mo. Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. No, it wouldn't be a show without George. Hey, George.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
In this episode, we're going to head to the theater for the latest entry in the long-running film series that brings dinosaurs to life in the current day. I wonder what that is. Build a remarkable Lego set that promises to be a snap to assemble and play a modern homage to an Atari classic on a free fantasy console. And you can't see it on the audio podcast, but George just groaned and rolled his eyes when I used a great pun in there because he just doesn't appreciate puns like I do. I don't know what your problem is. Is that what it is? But those topics and many more are coming your way, of course, in this episode. Before we get to that, it's time for my favorite part of the show, which is a little fourth listener email. Look, the three of us are here. We're apt to listen. Not guaranteed we're apt to it, but if anybody else does, again, you can't see George nodding. If anyone else does, you are our fourth listener. And the fourth listener this time around is Tony C. Subject line of his email, "We are the world." All right. Here's what Tony has to say. Hey guys, loved your podcast about the We Are the World single. Yeah. I wanted to share that there was a third musical collaboration. Aside from the US and UK, Canadian musicians came together and performed a song called Tears Are Not Enough. You guys know this one already?
Yep.
Yeah?
I don't, actually.
No? Yep.
Yep.
Okay. He says also in support for feeding the people of Ethiopia. Same idea. George did. I didn't know that. Mo didn't. The group was called Northern Lights, and the song was composed by David Foster. All right. He says, at the time of the recording, a making of documentary was being made. I suggest checking it out. You'll see all the Canadian artists of the era, like Bryan Adams, Mike Reno, Joni Mitchell. As an added touch, a verse was sung in French because it's Canada. You know,
They do that.
All right. So you've heard this. How's the song stack up to some of the other ones, George, if you know this one? I don't know.
I mean, none of the songs are tremendous songs, let's be honest, right? They're pop earworm songs, but they're not tremendous because they write them pretty quickly because the idea is not that the song is great. It's what the thing is behind the song, right? Like
who's in it,
right?
the
spectacle. I mean,
yeah.
Do they know it's Christmas? I will talk about it in a little while, but there was some people directly affected in the famine stuff that were really mad at the title of this song. So there's a lot to be left as far as the songs are concerned, but who cares?
Yeah.
Song good or not, doesn't matter. They all stack up the same in that they're all trying to bring awareness and drive money toward people who desperately needed it.
That's the most generous way of saying the song was no big deal. Thank you, George. Well stated. But he did his job, right? It was for a good cause. It makes sense. So, all right, Tony, thank you for writing in. We're glad you enjoyed the We Are the World backtrack. Listen, fourth listener, if you would like your email feature here on the show, it's drop dead easy. All you have to do is hit us up at podcast@GenXGrownUp.com. We'll read every single one, and most of them eventually make the show. And before we get into the body of the show, one more quick order of business. We have a new Apple podcast review. We get those on occasion.
Those are helpful.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they help people to find us. When you go searching for Gen X or nostalgia or whatever, the more reviews, apparently it helps you get discovered. And Apple is the biggest platform. So this is a review from Jimmy McNulty, 5-star review. The subject was Hidden Gem Unearthed. He must mean Mo. Must be. He says, 3 Generation X nerds who make the listener feel like they're hanging with longtime friends, discussions of pop culture phenomena, tech gadgets, movie and TV reviews, and lots of reminiscing about the 70s and 80s. That sounds like us. I may be a millennial, but just old enough to be familiar with most of the topics. Their banter can't be beat when it comes to podcasters, and they're hilarious. Now, they're talking about George for sure, so we got that straight.
Sure.
Okay.
And he says, especially George. I was making that up, and he just said especially George. I missed it. Oh, I was kidding. And all right.
All right.
Since discovering this, dang it, I was trying to make a joke and it turned out to be real. He says, since discovering this about a month ago, I can't stop binging the extensive back catalog. That's from Jimmy over on Apple Podcasts. Thank you, Jimmy. Yeah, we appreciate it. And a little love for you, George. There, you're always left out, and then here you are. So.
Yeah.
Hey, if you haven't yet left us a review wherever you listen, please do. It really does help. Do what Jimmy did. Throw a 5-star at us. Tell people why you listen. It helps us to be discovered. All right. With that good business in the rearview mirror, it's time to jump into the body of episode 193 right after this.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
You're listening to Gen X Grown Up. But if you have a friend who's not yet listening, why not? Tell them about us. They'll thank you later.
People enjoy taking out the famous taste of Kentucky Fried Chicken day and night.
So take some out today. We got your favorite takeout taste for a finger-licking good day. Anytime, take some out and you'll be on your way to a finger-licking Kentucky Fried Chicken. A finger-licking good day.
Good night.
We're going to get going talking about media we have been checking out since we last spoke. Now, of course, this could be comic books or music or television or film or whatever you're into. And Mo, I'm going to talk to you first. What have you recently been watching that you want to talk about?
Well, I went and saw Jurassic World Rebirth. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, you never guess what happens in this movie. I mean, there's maybe spoilers. I don't know.
Do people get eaten by dinosaurs?
Yes. And there are children for no possible explanation involved.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a
people
bureaucrat.
make bad decisions. I'm going to guess that's going to happen.
Yes, that happens. There's a bureaucrat, of course, that is self-serving, and you know what happens to him.
So Jurassic Park.
They created another bizarre dinosaur this time because I guess every movie has to have a worse dinosaur in it. I guess it's supposed
kind of
to.
the formula.
I guess
Bigger, meaner.
meaner.
Yeah.
Well, this was a mutant, so
Okay.
you got that.
I mean, haven't they all been mutants?
Well, this is specifically like a mutant one. Like they were combining
one's even
different stuff to
mutantier
make
than the other
Like,
ones.
Did he go to Professor Xavier's school for gifted children? Is that what type of mutant we're talking
I believe
about?
it had an extra set of arms. So just so you know, when I say mutant, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it did. That's true.
Well, T-Rex would be envious.
So it was.
His
I
arms
think they were
don't work.
useless arms, though. I think they were T-Rex. But it was. I mean, it was just. We saw it, and I was just laughing because the director was also he was doing like callbacks to the original one that was just so obvious. Like usually callbacks are pretty subtle. You're like, oh, I kind of but this one they're just blatant. Like, oh, I saw this great scene in the first movie, so I'm going to repeat it. I mean, kids loved it. I know had dinosaurs in it. For some reason, they had to get genetic material from the 3 largest dinosaurs.
Right.
Specifically, 1 water, 1 land, 1 air.
It's like a video game.
For no reason. I mean, yeah, it was crazy. It was just
they're creating an airbender here. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Yeah, I snuck out and saw it too. You get the A list. You got to use it sometime for something, right? I wanted to see it. I figured you'll see a Jurassic Park movie or Jurassic World, whatever this is, on big screen. And yeah, I mean, everything you're saying, Mo, is like, and you're not. What you're dancing around is like, it wasn't a good movie. It wasn't a bad movie. It was just a Jurassic Park franchise movie. Kind of rinse and repeat,
Very rinse and repeat. Yeah.
You talk about the kids for no reason. It occurred to me, we get a chance to see it. This will make sense if you've never seen it. But when you go watch this film, there's a small family involved. Mm-hmm. You could remove the family from the plot and make no impact on the story. It just made the movie 30 minutes longer.
Yeah.
It was just more encounters with dinosaurs by people who didn't have guns, I guess, basically. So they were more peril, but they didn't impact the story at all. In fact, they caused the story to be difficult because they were getting in peril that had to be saved. But
I guess they have to have kids in danger, or otherwise people don't feel it or something.
Maybe.
And there was one scene that I actually laughed out loud in the theater at, which was they're in like some really tall grass, right? Mm-hmm. And looks empty, and all of a sudden turn around and they somehow did not see these freaking huge apatosaur, like the massive, huge dinosaurs.
And
there was like
10 stories tall,
of them.
Giant. Yeah.
And they're like, and they do the whole, like in the first movie when they turn the head and you see them for the first time, and that, which was a good scene. They try to do exactly. You turn around, I'm like, wait a minute. They were hiding in tall grass? Were they like sneaking down?
they were walking backwards up to that point and hadn't turned around and looked behind them to see these giant dinosaurs in the distance. I hadn't thought of that. That was dumb.
Yeah, I was cracking up. But anyway, so it's a Jurassic Park movie. It did well in the theaters, apparently, for that opening weekend. It made this money, which means they'll do another one. But all I kept thinking is, like, in my head, a more interesting movie would be the dinosaurs get into our ecosystem, start screwing things up. Like Yosemite, raptors going to Yosemite and they're killing up, and so, I mean, something more like that, I think would be a more interesting plot. But this one is like, they have to go back to the island, and there's yet another island no one knew about where they're doing more experiments. And, it was just,
how many of those they got?
That's the other thing too.
A lot of islands around there.
Running out of islands.
I mean, they've kind of already done the bring the dinosaurs to American soil, so to speak, though, in the last one, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
They were doing the whole auction thing with the evil guys with billions of dollars, and the daughter was a clone herself of the wife or daughter, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
but, exactly.
Just shrug.
I don't know that you need it. It's really just a name to put on the next toy. That's all it is at this point.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. It's a marketing thing.
It's been diluted so much now that it's just, we'll watch it because it's Jurassic Park, but it's not that excitement anymore. It's just the same thing again with new dinosaurs a little bit.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I saw. So how about you, John? Something more original, exciting?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it's original enough. But so I was looking forward to George was looking forward to this last time we spoke because I forgot to put it on my list, and he stunned me with how quick it was coming up. And that is after 2 years of waiting on a cliffhanger.
A major cliffhanger. Oh, my God.
The 3rd season of Star Trek Strange New Worlds premiered just a few days ago as you listen to this. And so, of course, I'm not going to talk spoilers about the show, but I want to talk around it because of the impact that modern streaming has had on wonderful franchises like this. And we've touched on this before in the past. So Star Trek Strange New Worlds, one of my favorite, not just Star Trek shows, it's one of my favorite shows on television right now. It's so well made. It makes me feel so good to watch it. I really enjoy it. Used to be a great Star Trek series it ran 3 or 4 or 5, 6 seasons, but you got 20, 26 episodes a season. Well, now you get these high impact 1 hour episodes that are like motion pictures. They're amazingly well produced, but you get 10 of them and that's it. So, I mean, we're into season 3 right now, and there have been a total of 12 episodes of this show. I'm sorry, 22 episodes of this show, right? First season, second season, and 2 more. Not even a whole real season of like the Next Generation.
Right.
Plus, we had in the interim between the end of season 2, which was a cliffhanger, to be continued at the end. And now, not only is there a gap normally in streaming shows, but we had a writer's strike. We had this SAG-AFTRA negotiation stuff causing a 2-year gap. So the problem with that was, look, I enjoyed the last season and I enjoyed watching the beginning of the new season. They dropped 2 episodes, by the way. No, I know you guys both know this. Just for the listener, they dropped 2 episodes, which means they've dropped a fifth of the series already this season. So they only have 8 more to go. But there's this problem of, you guys remember Next Generation, the best of both worlds at the end of season 3, and Picard had been assimilated. And we're like, oh, and we had to wait like 4 months to find out what happened. 4 months, just the summer. And everybody was talking about it. We're excited. I felt a general apathy in just fandom leading up to this that shouldn't have been there, because people they'd forgotten. It had slipped off the back of their radar. I mean, they were excited to see what was going to happen, but it wasn't like, I remember that summer, whatever, the summer of 91, 92, whatever it was, Star Trek fans, all they could talk about. They were dying to see the next episode and see how it ended. But there'd been so much promotional material, they almost knew how it was going to play out. And like the modern structure of series has negatively impacted how I enjoy these Star Trek series.
Yeah, I agree. I watched the first episode and I started watching it. And also I was like, holy crap, that's right. Like I knew it was a cliffhanger. I remember a cliffhanger, but then I remembered what everything that was going on. I was like, oh my God. Like, because you said it's been so long that you just sort of, it's like, yeah, okay. I kind of wish now I'd gone back and watched that last season of the last episode of the previous season. Just, once it kind of, you did? See, I should have done that. You know, just kind of get my head back into it again. I mean, it was a it was a great episode. I loved the episode, but it was just too long. Like you said, I think that was just a basic problem. It was just too long.
Yeah. And because they had to work so hard to remind everybody it was coming back, they had all this promotional material where you see all these people in a myriad of episodes later in the season, and it took the bite out of the show because you're wondering who's going to live. I know they're in episode 2 and 3 and 4. You know, it took some of the bite out of it that wouldn't have happened back in the day when regular network television happened. It's a sign of the times. I'm just, old man shakes fist at clouds. I know it's one of those things, but
get off my lawn.
It's frustrating that as much as I love this show, how the gap and modern structure really negatively impacted or at least shaded my enjoyment of the new season. It's great. Loving it. It's good to watch. I wish it was longer and better infrastructure around it, I guess what I'm saying. Yeah. So definitely recommend it. So a lot more to come on that. But George, you mentioned this very briefly in our listener email. What have you been watching?
Yeah, so the fact that you chose a listener email that was centered around the 84 to 85 Ethiopian famine stuff worked out well, because I did get to watch the first episode of Live Aid When Rock and Roll Took on the World, which is a documentary series put out by CNN. It's listed as a CNN original, which, it's kind of a rare thing, but they do documentaries every now and then. And I enjoyed the first episode. A lot of tear-jerking moments, as you might expect, given the subject matter. What I think I enjoyed the most is this is the first documentary I've seen that I can remember in a while on this subject that one of the main interviewees was Bob Geldof himself.
Oh, really?
Okay.
He doesn't do a lot of interviews because he's very disgusted with media. And you learn a little bit of the reason for that disgust in this first episode. So Bob Geldof is, for those of you who don't know, he's the guy who really got these these famine aid relief things going in the mid 80s. He was part of a pretty popular rock band, mostly in England and in Europe. And when he saw a report that was on BBC about the Ethiopian famine, he just got mad as hell. And that same night, he had to go to an industry event where they were celebrating fashion. And what I find really fascinating is that somebody was recording that event.
Oh.
And they got a snippet of a conversation that Geldof was having with another attendee where he's like, I can't believe we're at this fucking thing all about fashion and food, and these people are starving in Ethiopia. Did you see this thing on BBC? And you can see the process, the wheels turning.
Interesting.
Like the kernel of the idea, you see it germinating right there?
You see it, yeah, because through the interview process of modern day interview plus the found footage of the stuff from back then. So you go through the whole process of how they put together that first song. Do they know it's Christmas? You see how the whole thing was slapstick put together. We have done a full podcast on We Are the World. That's where the listener email came from. And we know what that process was like, but that took months of planning and organization. The Do They Know It's Christmas? They literally put that shit together in like a week.
Oh, really? Wow.
Is that
because
right?
because they kind of had to, because they decided amongst the three principals, okay, best time to get this record out is Christmas. That's when everybody's buying everything. Okay. So we got to get this thing done now so we can get all the records printed and sent out to all the places so that people can have it to buy for Christmas. So we're going to make it a Christmas song and blah, 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 blah. And that's how they go. Really well put together. They interview people that don't do interviews as part of this process. And I'm guessing it's because the subject matter is so important. There are interviews with Bono, with Sting, with all the people that were big at the time that are still alive today. Of course, we don't get an interview with George Michael, unfortunately. Right. One thing, a little nugget that I found out, Boy George is famously on the track and does this beautiful solo. He wasn't even in country. Like, oh, really? They woke up that morning and everybody's walking over to the house. Phil Collins even talks about in an interview. He's like, yeah, I just walked in. Nobody knew who I was. And they just had some drums because he does a whole drum thing for the song. And they're looking around and they're like, wait, where's George? And they're like, he's not here. So Bob Geldorf calls him. He's in New York asleep. And he's like, get your ass on the Concorde and come over here and sing the song.
Oh, wait. So when you said he wasn't in country, I thought you meant like he did his part remotely. No. He wasn't there. They said, get your ass here. And he came.
There's no remote at this point.
Yeah, you can't do remote, really.
I mean, you could record in a studio in New York.
I mean, that's all you could do.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the song in New York. All the sheets were written by hand there in London. So it's just,
so he hopped the Concorde.
Anyway, a lot of great information. If this is a subject matter that interests you, like it does me and the We Are the World stuff, the first episode, this is all about Live Aid, by the way. I've buried the lead. This is not about the Do They Know It's Christmas or We Are the World, but the documentary is showing each one of those segments in progression so that you get the full scope of how everything came to be leading up to and including Live Aid. So maybe we'll see the Canadian song in the documentary. I kind of doubt it because Live Aid kind of needs 2 episodes and there's only 4 episodes in the whole series, but really well put together. CNN's done a really good job with the editing on it. Interviews are outstanding. The pace moves along really well, but it leaves enough room for you to get emotional in the right places. So,
and a great documentary. I'm in. You sold me. All right. Thanks.
It's the Smucker's Uncrustables podcast with your host, Uncrustables. Okay, today's guest is rough around the edges. Please welcome Crust.
Thanks for having me.
Today's topic, he's round with soft, pillowy bread.
Hey.
Filled with delicious PB&J.
Are you talking about yourself?
And you can take him anywhere.
Why'd you invite?
And we are out of time.
Are you really cutting me off?
Uncrustables are the best part of the sandwich. Sorry, Crust.
Not all meals are created equal. For instance, breakfast has the spicy egg McMuffin for a limited time, and lunch doesn't. McDonald's breakfast comes first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Be sure to subscribe to or follow Gen X Grown Up wherever you listen. And while you're there, rate and review the show too. It helps more than you know.
Save in style. Zellers redefines both with an incredible Easter sale, the latest in style, illustration. Today's styles and colors for juniors, just $19.97 each. Coordinate a great spring look. We've coordinated the price, now 30% off. And save 30% on the new Easy Care looks you'll love to wear. Save in style. Express both in one word, Zellers. During Easter Save in Style event, only you'll know how little you paid.
I'm going to kick off Tech and Toys today with something that's not that exciting, but it had one cool feature. So I need a new screen protector for my phone, right? Not that exciting, right? They're a dime a dozen. You can find them anywhere.
Okay.
So I bought this one from Amazon. It was called it's military grade, all that fun stuff. The thing that got me about this one is it came with the way you put the screen on almost guarantees no dust and no bubbles.
Okay.
Because they
that
did
is
it
a problem.
First they give you like a little thing to put over your phone that kind of like hold it down, and you actually actually peel from the bottom. As it's on top of your phone, you peel it from the bottom and it just slides right onto your phone, like as you're peeling it. It's kind of hard to explain. If you go to I'll put a link on this, you go see the instructions, but it's like the first time, and I don't know how long that I have a screen protector that does not have a bubble or a hair on it or something. So, but it said the way they did it was pretty cool. And it was like 20 something bucks and they give you 2. So it was a pretty good deal.
I can only imagine like it's creating a virtual clean room, like a picture like where they make microchips, because whenever I buy screen protectors, although I typically don't use them right now, they usually say give you like 2 or 3 because they know you're going to screw it up because you're going to get dust or a bubble or something in there. So the extra cost, is it glass or plastic? What's the actual screen protector?
It's some sort
Can you tell?
Military plastic, I think. And they say that they guarantee it's not going to break, blah, blah, blah. The usual.
Gotcha. But they have an assembly to put it on to make it like perfectly square and perfectly clean and all that. Okay, got it. All right. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I just have a question. So with the modern phones and the phone faces that are out there today, now I'm not talking about flip or folds because I know they have completely different screen types.
Sure.
But your traditional tablet phone, whatever you want to call it, the Invicta glass and everything else that they come with now, it seems like glass screen protectors are kind of redundant at this point. So I'm not talking about a case, because a case around it makes sense to me because if it impacts a corner, that's different. But the screen itself in most modern phones, I mean, certainly in the flagships at least, I don't know that you need a screen protector, do you?
I probably don't. I mean, quite honestly, you're probably right. I buy more out of habit, and then after a while, I see how bad my screen protector looks when I replace it. I'm like, well, I'm glad it wasn't my screen, even though my screen would probably be fine. I'm sure. Yeah. Like you said, I think you're totally right, George. That you pretty much use like that ballistic glass or whatever the hell it is, on top of that thing. So these things are probably a little redundant, but it still makes me feel better. Honestly, that's the only reason why I got it.
Okay. So it's kind of like your safety blanket for your phone, right? You don't need it, but it makes you feel better to have it.
Yeah, like if I I drop something on my phone, I'm like, oh, at least I have a screen protector, I guess.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, okay.
Of course, if it breaks the screen protector, it'll probably break my phone too, so that's all right.
Yeah, let's hope not.
So again, not too exciting, but I'll put a link on it in case anyone does need a screen protector for no reason like I do. So how about you, George? What do you got for us?
Well, I guess mine's a little bit more of a toy. This was given to me for Father's Day, and it's a little bit older, but it's Lego set 76191, the Marvel Infinity Gauntlet. So this is the one that you've probably seen in Walmart or Target. It's in the black box with the pretty display and everything. And it's literally just the gauntlet itself with the stones in it. And it's on a little stand and everything. Now, I haven't built it yet because I'm still behind with my cryptid Legos that I've got to build and a whole bunch of other stuff from back when I got somebody gave me, I think the family gave me 6 sets, and then my wife had her stroke, so I just haven't had an opportunity to go back to building again. But this one looks to be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's beautiful as hell. I love the way that they have the gold pieces. They almost shimmer, which is nice because Lego doesn't always do a great job with colors, in my opinion. Sometimes the reds are sometimes a little too red, or the grays are a little bit too washed out, maybe. But the gold in this one looks beautiful to my eye, at least.
I don't know if you've ever done this before, so I'm going to pitch you on this because I want you to buy it and do it because you have the toy there.
And do it. Okay.
That's right. So you got the set as a gift.
That's no problem. I've got the GenXGrownUp card right here.
Right. So I know that Infinity Gauntlet is one of the select sets for which there is a lighting kit. Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah. I know there's lighting kits for specific sets. Yeah.
So the way that they work, I've never had one. I've been dying for one, but the way people have described it, and I've seen some people on our Discord share when they've done this, but it's not made by Lego. It's made by this third-party company who takes the Lego set and they figure out a way to trace wires in, through, and around and put bulbs behind stuff and whatever. It's modifying your set. It's a it's a mod, right?
Yeah.
It's a hack
essentially,
for your Lego set, but it creates I can only imagine. Whenever I heard that, I thought, ooh, the Gauntlet would be good because I'm sure there's got to be one behind each of the gems.
Oh,
Have
sure,
you seen that? Have you considered that? Or have you given it any thought?
No, I haven't even thought about it really. I mean, usually when I get one of these Lego sets, I just like to put them together and I keep them together. I don't use any of the glue that melts the bricks together so that they stay together permanently.
Right. Yeah.
But I do like them to stay together. I don't take them apart and build them into other things later on. I just don't have the kind of room to do that. But with this one, I could consider looking at one of these mod things to add to the set. The only thing I don't want to do, because I've seen some cheap mods that add lighting, they have you cut bricks. I'm not cutting any of the bricks.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
if the mod doesn't make me cut a brick, then I would be willing to try it.
And the reason I mention it now is because coincidentally, you have not built it yet. So it might be easier to integrate that as you build it, as opposed, because I'm sure it's going to make you take this part off and take this apart. And, but it's something to consider. I want to put that in your head because if you do it, I want to see how cool it looks. That's why I bring it up.
Absolutely. I might give it a shot.
That could be cool. All right. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/Spotify. That's greenlight.com/Spotify.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
Each episode of Gen X Grown Up has show notes loaded with links where you can learn more about our topics. And there's even more to see and hear over at GenXGrownUp.com.
When it comes to lending money, most banks think there's only one way to do it. So if you don't want to do things their way, you might not fit their loan.
But at the Commerce, we give you a choice of fixed or variable interest rates. Not everyone does. A choice of ways to repay your loan. And we'll even let you pay it off early, with no penalty. You see, at the Commerce, you don't have to fit the loan. The loan fits you.
You can count on the Commerce.
This is the main event of the podcast. For the 3 in attendance locally and the millions listening around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to talk about games. All three of us have got something on the list. Let's waste no time and get to it. Mo, what have you been playing for the last couple of weeks?
So it's a older game, came out 5 years ago. It's called Beyond Two Souls. The reason why I got it is it's been on my wish list for 5 years. And it finally came down in price during I think the summer sale. And it was like $5.
Steam sale. Yeah,
it was like $5 and I picked it up. It's very Life is Strangey as far as gameplay.
Okay.
And it has Elliot Page is one of the voice actors, and it's actually his likeness, I should say, on it. And Willem Dafoe is another actor who's in it. Okay. I played through, I guess, the first quarter, I guess I would say. So I think I got a pretty good feel for the game. And you play this character who has these psychic abilities, and it's sort of very similar, Stranger Game. She's in a lab and all that stuff. They have a room that's set up, looks like a kid's room, but it's just part of this whole facility, that kind of thing.
Kind of Stranger Thingsy. Yeah, I see that.
But the gameplay itself is definitely, Life is Strange in the sense that, you get these situations, you have to decide what to do. And it does seem like it has effect. I'm hoping, it probably might have had effect. I just don't know it because, I'm just playing through the first time. But there's a thing you have the simple test where you're what card is she looking at? The woman's in the other room. And you activate your power and you actually go in, your mind goes into the other room and you can see the person's cards. So you can either lie and say what card she actually has or tell the truth. Then you get this option to just basically scare the crap out of her. You can make chairs start flying. You can make break the glass, and also you hear stop the test, stop the test. And it also has a thing where you actually can play it 2-player. because it's like you could play the character and then I guess where the power comes from, and as two separate characters.
Okay.
I'm not sure how it works. I'm completely honest. I'm not sure how it works, but it is there as an option. But so far, like I said, I'm enjoying it like I enjoyed Life is Strange. Like I'm getting really vested in this story because it's not even like just I get the feeling you're going through like a huge chunk of this character's life. It's not just like one situation, it's early age. And I mean, it's a whole long kind of piece on it. And it's really interesting. And if you can find it on sale, I say absolutely get it.
Yeah. Okay. Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, I think it might be made by Don't Nod, even the people. I'm not sure, but it might be.
It might be.
I feel like I remember looking at it at the time.
But I'll throw a link in there so if anyone's interested.
Oh, of course. Great. Yeah.
Yep. How about you, George? What have you been playing?
Well, so I've been playing a game that was brought to my attention during the marathon live stream session that I did trying to help us get to the 100,000 subscriber mark a few weeks ago. It's an arcade platformer in the style of the original 80s arcade games, and it's called Anna Lynn. Now, Mo, you talked about your game being 5 years old. This one's 4 years old, so it's got you by a year. But it's only $5, so it's very affordable on Steam. Yep. To me, it should absolutely be an insta-buy at this point. If you like old games like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong Jr., Elevator Action, maybe all these games.
John is buying it right now as we speak.
I don't know anybody that likes all those things.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is all those games have elements in this game. So just like Pac-Man is running around collecting dots in a maze-like structure, Anna Lynn is running around in her mine platform structure collecting these little coins and gems.
Okay.
And all she has to do to complete the level is get all the coins and gems. Just like in Pac-Man, you just have to get all the dots and power pellets and you complete the level. In this one, though, instead of it being, like a top-down view of a maze, this is like a side view of a mine. So you're jumping up and down between platforms.
Okay.
The platforms are all staggered. When I talked about elevator action, there are doors on each one of the levels that the monsters who are chasing you can use to go up and down levels to try and catch you.
Oh,
so when you get close to a door, monsters start popping out of that little, it's not really a door. It's more like a cavern passage because this is inside a mine.
Okay.
But they pop in and out. They're trying to trap you and get all, just all they have to do is run into you. When I talked about Donkey Kong Jr., when you get to the level 2 section of the game and keep going forward, there are vines hanging down from the top of the cave that you climb just like you did in Donkey Kong Jr. So you can climb one vine and it goes slow, or you can climb 2 vines and you go a little bit faster.
Oh, even has the 1-2 hand mechanic?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Has the 1-2 hand mechanic. The gems, besides the coins that are out there, the gems are like the power pellets in Pac-Man. So you hit those, all the monsters turn blue, just like they did in Pac-Man with the ghosts, and you kick them off of the platform, and then they regenerate by falling back down the mine shaft onto the play field and start coming after you again.
Okay.
So
that sounds great.
It is. It's a lot of fun. It's very difficult. I'm not going to lie. It's got that retro dodo or whatever that game is feel.
Donut Dodo, sure.
But not quite as frustrating. So that's why I've still continued to play this one.
I may play it then.
Yeah. For $5, I think it's well worth a play. We've done it in that one live stream because somebody in the stream in the chat said, George, have you ever played Anna Lynn? I'm like, no, I've never. And then somebody else in the stream bought it for me so I could play it in that stream.
Wow. Wow. It's a good gig.
I think John could do a video on it or a live stream. It's certainly worth it, just like a lot of the other games that we do in those formats. For $5, if you like any of the games that I've talked about, it's well worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah, since you mentioned it, it's on my list to look at. So I'm probably going to live stream it before long, like you did, because it's right in the vein of those things that I love. So,
yeah, it's a well done modern retro game, and that's. We've talked about it on the podcast before. Just because you throw pixels at something, don't make it
retro.
a retro game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? This absolutely feels just like I would put a quarter in a machine to play this, and I would get beat in 30 seconds and be putting another quarter right behind it.
Going again.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of fun. But now that's the retro-ish game that I've been playing. John, you've been playing another game related to our retro gaming pass.
Absolutely right. And what did you say? Something about a modern retro game done right? This is another one of those, and why I wanted to highlight it here. It was actually suggested to me by a regular viewer and commenter and contributor over on the live streams named Torque, T-O-R-Q.
Oh, yeah.
He sent me a message at one point and said, have you tried 8VENTURE? Now just picture adventure, but there's an 8 instead of the AD. So it's 8VENTURE.
Right.
Named such because it's on the Pico 8 platform. Now, if you're not familiar with that, I don't blame you. Not a lot of people are, but once you discover it, it's really awesome. They call it a fantasy console. What it is a set of APIs to help you make your own little pixel art games. So it kind of takes the programming heavy lifting out of it so that people that are creative and have ideas to make games can make them on this Pico 8 platform.
Okay.
And George, since I just cost you money buying the mod kit for your glove, this game is free. Doesn't cost you anything to play.
Oh, good.
So,
I mean, that's good, but you didn't cost me money. You cost GenXGrownUp money because I'm not using my card for it.
I see. Well, we'll have to make it back somehow. So I'm saving money on this end. So what 8VENTURE is, since it sounds like adventure, it is an homage to a spiritual, look, it's not affiliated with Atari in any way, but think of the original 1980 Warren Robinette cartridge Adventure for your Atari 2600. It's that idea. You start in a gold castle. The gate is locked and you're a dot. But after that, it all goes sideways from there. It doesn't overdo the world, but it adds little elements, different monsters, what did we always say about the dragon? Oh, look, he looks like a duck, right?
Yes, it's a duck.
The main antagonist in this game is a big yellow rubber duck. He's pixely, but they just went ahead and made the enemy a duck. There are new castles to explore. There are enemies to explore. You're able to, how you grab the arrow sword in Adventure and you're kind of holding it out in front of you. You can hold down a button and rotate what direction it's pointing rather than just off to one side. You can do that with any element. But beyond just playing the game, opening up castles, getting the chalice, the spirit of adventure, the discovery of adventure, that some people that never played it long enough to find the secret dot and the Easter egg and the secret room and everything, there's hidden stuff in this game you can find. There's not one, but 2 hidden dots that you have to find and bring together in the same place in order to open up a secret room. There are ways to get into castles without using keys, which are kind of these meta achievements you can make. If you love the original Adventure, there's no reason not to go and try this out. You can play it for free in a browser. You don't have to download anything. You just jump in, start moving with your keyboard and 1 button, 2 buttons on your keyboard. It's like Adventure. It's like the way we remember it, but amped up to 11, right? It's just all this extra stuff in Adventure. It doesn't do anything to sully the idea of it. It's an homage. It doesn't try to be the same game, but I loved it the same way I love Adventure. And I've gone back to play this again because I'm like, oh, I never found this. I never figured out what to do with this kind of thing. And at the end, what do? You bring the chalice back to the gold castle. That gives you a time. Congratulations. Then you can try it harder or go back again. So it's called 8VENTURE. Like I said, Mo, I'll give you a link. Throw it down in the show notes. Look, if you're listening to this at home and have nothing to do, go now. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I bet you're going to have a good time. And plus, I'll give you a link to the live stream we did where we played this, so you can go and check it out if you just want to take a look at it. Both are available.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're a die-hard Gen X grown-up, you can pledge your support by clicking join on YouTube or by becoming a patron at genxgrownup.com/Patreon.
Ah, the tropical fragrance of new Tahiti foam bath.
Go to the island and feel the sunshine down. Get away from me. Feel the flowers in bloom.
tonight with new Tahiti foam bath.
As we come back into the show, we always like to take just a moment here at the start of this segment to talk about the things we're either looking at right now or looking forward to between now and the next time we get together. So why don't we start with you, Mo? Let us know what you have on the horizon.
I mean, me watching more Strange New Worlds, right?
Of course. Oh, yeah.
That's definitely looking forward to a short season. It's going to be over before we know it, unfortunately, but still looking forward to watching those. New season of South Park, season 27, if you can believe it. July 23rd. That's crazy. I can't believe it's 27th season.
I said a couple weeks ago it was coming up, but probably delayed. And sure enough, it got delayed.
Yeah. But what I'm most looking forward to, surprisingly, actually, is the Fantastic Four First Steps. It's coming out on the 25th. I just like the look of the movie, like the Art Deco, the style. I really like it. I think it seems very, I don't know. Something about it just really appeals to me. It seems like they got some really fantastic actors in it. And so knock on wood that they do this movie well, which no one has ever been able to do ever. So maybe this is the one that actually makes it a decent movie. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I hope so too. But I think they really made a mistake by putting Pedro Pascal in there instead of John Krasinski.
I agree. Now, I haven't seen Pedro Pascal yet, but we've seen Krasinski's portrayal, and it was awesome.
Yeah. I'm no knock against Pascal. He's a great actor. He's being overused right now, and he is not Reed Richards. Just that simple.
Well, I'll see. Yeah,
it's going to be a reach.
Maybe he'll surprise us, right? It's possible. He's a good actor, so maybe he'll pull it off. I don't know. We'll see. But how about you, John? What are you looking forward to?
Sure. Yeah. So a brand new game just came out. I hadn't had a chance to play it yet, but I just got my shipment from Bandai Namco. It's Shadow Labyrinth. Remember the short in Secret Level that was like a dark version of Pac-Man called Circle, where he was consuming the entity?
Oh, yeah.
This is that game that short was based on, where Pac-Man is this dark dystopian monster who's consuming everything. It just came out. I have not pushed start on it yet. I haven't put in my code into Steam yet. I got the nice collector's bundle. Eager to play it. And we're going to do it live in a few days on our live stream, but I'm eager to play that. And that's out right now. You can go and get it right now. Tons of platforms, Switch and PlayStation, Xbox, and everything. The next thing I'm looking forward to is coming August 1st. Oh, man. The Naked Gun.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I know.
Don't look forward to that
George.
Liam Neeson bullshit.
That thing looks so on brand. I am so excited.
Oh,
it does.
My God.
Well, you could be wrong, but I'm going to love it because
does that need a remake though? I don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
We got
I'm intrigued
3
by.
series already in it, right?
I know. Yeah. Well, Neeson's comedic timing and presentation is awesome. I think about him in Ted 2 when he was buying the Fruit Loops at the grocery store. If you remember seeing that in Ted 2, it's surprising how good he is in comedies because he's so typecast as this heavy. And I think he's going to be great in this. The trailers look great.
Typecast. He has no fucking range.
I disagree. Well, we'll find out August 1st because I'm going to be in the theater watching it.
Find out. I ain't watching that bullshit.
The last thing I'm looking forward to, and the thing I'm looking forward to the most and have been looking forward to for years, the 14th season of King of the Hill comes out on Hulu on August 4th. 14th season, yeah. After a 15-year hiatus, it was canceled back after season 14.
Has it been 15 years? Jeez.
Yeah. It's a time jump. There's 8 years in the future, so characters have grown older and evolved. It's a different world. And we get to see those characters again. Now, sadly, some of the voice actors have passed away, so we have some replacements in there, but it's still Mike Judge at the helm. He's still doing the primary voices of Hank Hill and Boomhauer, and I love that series. And I've been apprehensive about what are they going to do with a revival, but everything I've seen so far, it feels on brand. Super excited for that. I think they're dropping it all at once on August 4th, so you know where I'll be August 4th.
Yeah.
So, George, how about you? What do you got coming up?
Well, first off, just a little bit lighter of a fare. Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out on Netflix July 25th. So I'm an Adam Sandler fan. I know a lot of people don't necessarily find him very funny, but I do, and I find him endearing funny to me. I thought Happy Gilmore deserved a sequel if they were going to do it, 10, 15 years ago. We didn't get it, obviously. I'm glad that this whole Netflix deal that some of these comedians like Adam Sandler and Chris Rock have signed are doing some of these kinds of movies on Netflix that they wouldn't necessarily get an opportunity to do with a traditional movie studio. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be fun. Another one that I'm looking forward to that actually will already be out by the time you get a chance to listen to this, but I haven't gotten to watch it yet. There is a new documentary on one of my favorite musical acts of all time, Billy Joel and So It Goes, coming from
I've seen a lot
HBO.
of news about that.
Yeah, July 18th. I think the reason why I'm looking forward to this is because most of the Billy Joel documentary kind of stuff focuses on the music. This one might focus more on him and his life. So I'm very interested to see if they tackle the subjects of the whole bankruptcy and him being stolen from, the marriages and divorces, the kids, all that kind of stuff. I really hope that that's what this one focuses on, because I don't need another documentary to tell me what Captain Jack is about, or you know, Piano Man's fifth retelling. I don't need any of that. Thing I'm looking forward to most, and I'm sure it's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, is the 1 million sub mark for GenXGrownUp on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. We can make it happen right here. We got 1 million listeners on this podcast, I'm sure. So just head over to that secondary thing we do called the YouTube channel and click subscribe if you haven't done it yet. And we'll get to that million before you know
around
it.
the corner. Yeah, sure.
That's right.
In a couple weeks.
We might already be there by the time you hear this. I don't know.
You know what? 890,000, something like that, to get there.
A pittance.
You do it.
It's easy.
A pittance.
Now, I have a new patron to welcome to our fold to support us over on Patreon. Before I do, though, I know that, Mo, often you'll get questions from our Patreon supporters to ask us here on the show. Do you have one for this episode?
Yeah, I do. And it's from a longtime supporter, Power Driven.
Power.
He's been around forever. He's a fantastic supporter. And so he asks, what were your favorite go-to snacks, sweets, and go-to quick foods growing up? What is still around? What is no longer available? And which ones do you crave and or still eat or miss? So one popped in my head almost immediately, which was, do you guys remember the Marathon bar?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which it was a long, for those of you kids out there who don't know, it was a long, almost braided caramel with chocolate.
Yep.
And it was like long. And the commercials were like, you know, two people to race to see how fast they could eat them and all sorts of stuff like that, which was
super
great.
chewy.
Yeah, super chewy. And man, that sent me to the dentist more than any other candy out there. And I don't think they make them anymore. I've not seen them in forever, but.
So we actually talked about the Marathon bar years ago, and we discovered it's still made in the UK under the name Curly Whirly.
Whirly.
We even ordered some. Now, this has been like 5 years ago.
Oh.
But you can still get them. It tastes just the same. It's not in the U.S., but you can order them. And I found them on Amazon, I think. Curly Whirly, Mo. You can
I'm
look it up. You can make it happen.
Now. I'm going to look it up right now. So how about you, John? What's your answer to that one?
Mine's easy. Yeah. Two things. One that's still around, one that's not. And so the one that's not around anymore, I'm a peanut butter freak. I love peanut butter sandwiches and just peanut butter in general and Reese's peanut butter cups. I think might have been Planters even made these things called PB Crisps. There were these little fake peanuts. Like they were in the shape of a peanut, but it was like soft wafer stuff with two little dollops of peanut butter inside where the nuts would be, right? So in the bag, you pull it out and it looks like a peanut, but it's really like this wafer with two little dollops of peanut butter, and just pop it in your mouth. And it's creamy and crispy and light and wafery, and they're gone. It's one of those like lost snack foods that are gone. And I still crave that thing. You know, nothing quite hits like that does. The other one that I always enjoyed was really simple, and everybody still makes them, and that's the fruit pies. You know, the little like, you know, 4-inch by 3-inch
fruit pies.
Yes, little fruit pies.
The Hostess.
You know, those things cost like $3 and $4 a piece now when you go to the store.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. They used to be 50 cents.
And you can't tell me they actually added fruit now.
No, they're just more expensive and smaller probably. I would walk in a convenience store with $1 and get a little thing of milk and a fruit pie and have like 12 cents change and walk out of there. And but yeah, fruit pies, PB Crisp. Those are my two. One you can still get, well, if you're willing to pay for it. One you can't. So. How about you, George?
It's a difficult question for me because we owned the grocery store growing up, so I had a sampling of pretty much anything you could think of. Everything that that comes to the front of my mind is around in some fashion or another. So I'm trying to think of things that are unusual. Like I would say goobers, but there's still goobers around. You get them at the dollar store now. Yep. They're just not sold in theaters like they used to when I was a kid. Mountain Dew is obviously split off and become flavor hell now.
Yeah.
Loved Mountain Dew growing up. I guess, if I had to pick two things that one is unusual, but it's still around, it's just hard to find. There were these little plank cookies, and they had 3 flavors to them.
Okay.
And they were hard as rocks, but I loved them. And I loved the gingerbread one the most, but there was a banana flavor, a strawberry flavor, and a ginger flavor. And they came in these thin, long packs that were maybe slightly bigger than an original Hershey bar, not the modern small Hershey bars. And the edges of the cookies were like little semicircles around the edge. Like you might see the frosting on a birthday cake from Publix kind of shape.
Oh, got it.
And there were 2 of them in the pack. And we sold them, a pack was a quarter. I think now they're like 50 cents or 75 cents, something like that, when you can find them. The other thing is absolutely not around anymore, but it was a franchise pizza place called Pizza Inn.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Pizza Inn pizza. It was that crispy wafer pizza. It wasn't deep dish or soft crust or any of that stuff. And the only thing that's kind of like it in the modern era is Shakey's pizza. Shakey's does a cracker crust type of pizza.
Yeah.
But that's mostly in California, so can't really find it over here on this coast. But yeah, I would say those little wafer plank cookies and then the Pizza Inn.
Awesome.
I want to try the cookies. Those sound interesting.
Yeah,
and you can still get them, you said? You're still out there around somewhere?
There's like this store it's called Fresh for Less down here. It's like a knockoff Winn-Dixie kind of place.
Okay.
And they sell them there. So somebody is still making them somewhere.
Right,
or they've been in a warehouse since 1985 and they just unloading them to the store.
They never go bad.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for those answers. And thanks for that question, Power Driven. And hey, if you want to get your question on the show, it's super easy. Just go to GenXGrownUp.com/Patreon. As little as $1 a month. Send me your question and we'll answer it right here on the show.
We'll do it. Yeah. And I'd mentioned I wanted to welcome a brand new patron, semi-long-time listener. I think probably the last year or so, we discovered one another, and he's been super active everywhere that we put stuff out. He goes by 1969 Eliminator, which is his favorite car, but it's also his screen name and handle. And he did just what you suggest, Mo. He headed over to GenXGrownUp.com/Patreon, opened up his wallet and his heart, and set up a regular, recurring, small monthly pledge to help support what we do here on the podcast. Over on that, apparently a YouTube channel, according to George, we have. I hear. And the website, everything we do goes to support us. So thank you, 1969 Eliminator. We love that you did that. We love that you're joining this roster of amazing supporters. That then is going to wrap it up for this edition of the show. Don't worry though, we'll be back in 2 weeks with another one. And next week, well, that's our backtrack. That's where we pick a single nostalgic topic and dig in deep. George, you'd like to do the honors and let the fourth listener know what's coming their way in next week's backtrack?
Well, much in keeping with that Patreon question, Valkyrie needs food. We're going to tackle some ghosts, some little stone lobbing barbarians, and talk all about Gauntlet. From when did that come out? Like 83 or 84 maybe?
85.
It was 85.
85.
85.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It was on the trailing edge then. That's Gauntlet's a great game. There's been a couple of different iterations of it over the time. We're going to dig deep on Gauntlet when we come back next week.
That's going to be fun. Don't want to miss that one. All right. Until then, I'm John. George, thank you so much for being here, man.
Yes, sir.
Mo, you know I appreciate you.
Always fun, man.
Fourth listener, it's you we all appreciate most of all, though, and we cannot wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Take care, everybody.
No life, no fun. Don't you know that you're a grown-up?
Gen X Grown Up is a member of the Evergreen Podcast family. Learn more at evergreenpodcasts.com.
Watching shows till sunrise. Unacceptable for grown-ups. Your dinner cannot just be french fries. Basically, life sucks as a grown-up.
You're looking forward to 1 million subs, George? That's gonna next 2 weeks, you expect? Is that?
You guys are doing stuff that's not within the next 2 weeks, so
Mine's not.
No, yeah, mine is.
Mine's not.
All mine's
I'm
within 2
saying in the
weeks.
past.
We have certainly, yes. I look forward to Ralph breaking the internet for
Besides,
6 months.
It might happen in the next 2 weeks.
That's
Sure.
true.
Why not?
That's absolutely true.
Why not? That's fun. I literally did not know that was coming. And I'm like, probably talking about you. Oh, shit, he is.